Hi, Joe.
Good evening. How we doing?
Good. I got this silly thing set wrong. I have to admit people manually.
Yeah.
Disable waiting room. Thank you. All right. People should come on
Hey
automatically.
Dave,
Hi, Jeff.
how we doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey Joe,
Oh,
I just sent the link out again just in case somebody didn't get it this morning. So
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, that deal on that hiker, I could not open that file at all.
yeah, I sent it out again to you.
Yeah, it still didn't work.
Still didn't work.
No.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Huh.
Um, so I don't know. No big deal.
Yeah.
What was the gist of it?
Um, it was interesting. It was a hiker that had been going up in the Angeles forest for quite some time, many times, and this time he went out and got lost on a new trail. And so anyway, um, he wasn't expected to make it for maybe another day or two because it's cold. And he was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and so his cell phone was just about dead, and he took a picture. It showed his feet, and it showed down below the rocky terrain and stuff. And he sent that out on his cell phone to a friend, and the friend sent it to the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department, LA sheriffs, they sent out this picture to everybody. And this one young man that got the picture was a ham, and he was his hobby was looking at commercials and things like this and seeing the background.
Tina wants you to send her the email. She didn't
So Tina didn't get the link. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I just sent it out, so she should have got it. So anyway, this was his kind of hobby. He would really accurate. He'd be able to tell where these commercials were made and everything. And so he looked at this picture, and he figured using the satellites and the imagery and everything, this would be like right down Ed's alley here.
You got the GPS coordinates all sorted.
Yeah, he came within, I forget how close it was. Sheriff's Department went up there, and within a really short time, they found it.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah, and it was a ham radio.
Well, that was the short, hikers, experienced or not, he violated all the rules when you go out like that.
Yeah. He repented. He said from now on he'll definitely be prepared when he goes out there next time. He just had a power bar in his backpack, and his cell phone was just about dead, and he's wearing shorts, and
he's on a trail he's never been on before.
Yeah. About 7,000 feet high, if I remember.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they got that one unit that you can buy. It's not cheap. It's like a locator beacon.
Yeah.
And it's satellite.
Tina's calling me.
Yeah, they said that's what
Hey,
everybody
Tina.
should have, a hiker. They should have one of these.
Well, I had a friend of mine here a while back.
Yeah.
Alexa, turn on the office lights.
Okay.
You didn't get the email. How could that? Why?
me-
He sent it twice.
Stuck in
Are you
traffic. a
sure?
while
Did you
back
check
here.
again? To
And,
everybody.
asked what they should have in their car.
I'll send it to you. Hold on.
And
No
I
problem,
told him,
Tina.
I said, hey,
Okay, I'll send a copy to you.
no matter whether it's
See,
summer.
hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, no problem. Bye.
You have a jacket, a blanket. You
I
have
don't know.
water.
Tina's not getting your emails.
You have some like protein bars, things like that to have in your car,
Yeah.
and obviously a working flashlight, and some other things like that. You remember the fire up on a 15 a few years back, where all those people got stranded?
Yeah.
Well, the brother-in-law of my friend was one of those folks that got stuck up there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And fortunately for him, they had stopped at the store up on the high desert on our way down, and they bought like a 12-pack of water in that.
Oh, Dave, I just sent it to her again.
I did too.
Yeah. So anyway,
She should get it.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Things that you need to have in your car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy.
Well,
Hey,
how do
Randy.
you
Hey, Randy.
do there?
I don't-
know here.
And Joe and Dave.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but for a second we had Ed, and they disappeared.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he must have saw me coming in.
Hey, Randy, that meeting I was going to this morning,
Yeah.
I have a lot to tell you. That was the most enlightening. I'm learning a lot about things that obviously wasn't taught in a history or civics class in school.
I will believe that.
Yeah. Want to talk about Dave and Jeff. They're on Thursday mornings over at Marla's Mexican Cafe. A gentleman by the name of Douglas Gibbs. He conducts a hour and a half, 2-hour class on the Constitution.
Oh,
And he is a noted speaker on the subject matter. He's a talk show host and been around.
Wow.
And today we were doing Section 9 of Article 4 of the Bill of Rights.
Boy.
oh.
Next week we'll do Section 10.
Huh.
And it is really, really an eye opener on our Constitution.
Yeah.
And just a real quick thing, he's part of a group that have served, I'll put it in this context, served Kamala Harris with I guess a lawsuit,
Uh-huh.
and it has to do with her eligibility to be VP under articles in the Constitution.
Yeah, because her parents are not naturalized citizens.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wasn't she born in Jamaica or something?
In Jamaica, their law is no matter where you're born on this globe, you are a Jamaican citizen no matter what. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this thing. She has 30 to 60 days to reply.
Here, Flip. Hi.
Hey, Flip.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Flip.
Flip's here.
Flipper.
Hey, hello, Randall.
I can't do a dolphin impression. So that's as good as I got.
Ah, darn. Okie doke.
Nobody understands that. Nobody's that old, Randy.
I know.
Just while we're killing time,
Oh, let's see.
here's my ship's patch.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Look at there. Ajax.
And that was the flagship, the Admiral that we had on board. That was their emblem.
Oh, okay.
Flipper wouldn't know that he was in the Army, were you not?
Yeah, I was.
There you
I
go.
was. Water and I didn't get along.
I
I don't
got to
blame
be
you.
on top of the water as well as under it, Flip.
And
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
flying a Vegematic, I don't think so.
You still could get stuck on a ship somewhere. Doesn't matter.
Well, you could have joined the Navy and where I was never on a ship. So.
Yeah.
My dad was in
Oh,
the
that's
Army.
right. Yeah.
Spent a lot of time on board ships.
I had TAD orders on board a diesel-powered submarine that had it was one of a new hybrid gyro. It was about 70-80% mechanical, and the rest was electronic. And
Well, you know what's crazy is Hollywood has so distorted different aspects of the military. For example,
Sure.
I was in Hawaii and down in Honolulu looking at the memorial and stuff, and there was a little submarine there that was available to go aboard and see what it was like, you know. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
My gosh, you had to be 4'2" to even get in the damn thing, and
Yeah.
it was so tight quarters. I would have been claustrophobic. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe how small inside those submarines were during World War II.
Well, the
Absolutely.
diesel boats, the Guppy and the Gato class, yeah, they were pretty small.
Oh my God.
There's a boat down there by the Midway Museum in San Diego.
Yeah, yeah.
The diesel boat that I was on temporary assignment, it actually looked like one of the newer nuclear boats, even though it was diesel.
Well, I guess the nuclear boats are quite larger, and everything's normal. But man,
Right side.
during World War II, those tiny subs, man, I don't know how these guys did it. You know?
If you ever get the chance, the closest representation they ever said was Das Boot. It was a German film
Yep.
Yeah.
about the U-boats.
It's a great
and,
book. Great movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There's two versions of it, by the way. There's the one that's in the German language with the closed
Subtitles. That's what you watch.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
That's the one you want to watch.
Yeah,
They have a translated version, but
yeah.
I think the subtitles is better.
But bless
Talk about showing how sucky a sub was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing is on the diesel boats, it took me about a month to get my dungarees and get the smell of the diesel out of them.
Yeah.
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 I mean, what the name of the sub was the Bowfin, BOW,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on that.
Yep. And they showed, when I walked down through, I couldn't hardly step through the little ports to get to the next section. They showed the galley. Okay. And I'm going, this is a galley? It's no bigger than a one-man bathroom. Okay.
my brother Ange was a submariner, and he was 5'9",
Yeah.
and he was an ET on board the boat. He was on the Redfin out of Norfolk, Virginia.
Man.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'll tell
Pete.
you.
How do you
Hey,
do?
Hello,
Steve?
guys.
Hello, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed,
Hello, guys.
Hello, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
stacking up.
All right. Well, we'll get this thing going here in another 15 minutes.
I just remember after watching that movie, I came out because it was in the theater, and I came out just depressed. I go, what a miserable.
Well, did you notice the one thing in Das Boat? Remember when they were diving? What the crew did?
Oh, we all ran to the front of
They
the
all
boat.
ran forward.
Yeah, forward.
Yeah, they put more weight in the forward bow to make that motor go down.
Jeez.
The crew was part of the ballast.
Yeah. When the guy was oiling the rockers,
Yeah, the rocker arms on the engines. Yeah.
with the grease can. That was horrible.
Can you imagine what it would have been like when they were throwing depth charges and you were down, X
yeah.
number of feet and shaking the heck out of that dumb thing and squeaking and, oh my gosh. You
Well,
had to be a special person to be in that service.
Well, remember in the early tanks that we had, they didn't have to penetrate them. All the anti-tank weapon had to do was hit the side of it because of the riveting they used. It was like a shotgun blast inside the thing. When they hit them, it would shear the rivets.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, sounds like fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Something you just want to do.
Just can't wait to do.
Well, I slept in the
How come we haven't seen Tina yet? What's going on with Tina?
my sleeping quarters was right near the gyro, because for the 2 weeks I was on board that boat where we're doing operations down there along Midway.
There's Megan.
Get
The
me?
DJ.
DJ? Tina.
Hey, there's Tina.
Yeah.
Just M.
There's Tina.
Hey,
Also
Tina.
known as M. Hi, Tina. Glad you made it. Does your microphone work? Say hello. I think it does. I think we can hear you.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we can hear you. We hear you.
Hey, if anybody's interested, somehow or another, I got an extra field day diary book. If anybody wanted, you're welcome to it.
Oh, Tina took off. I don't know what happened there.
Lost her video.
She muted and her video went away. I don't think she
Who is
thought
M?
it was working.
Hey, Pete, did you guys conduct a VE test up by Patton Hospital, or is that somebody else?
That's another group.
Yeah.
Tina's coming in
I had a-
different.
a technician I met when I was in the hospital a few years back. Earlier this year, he got his tech license, and this past weekend, he was over at Patton.
You're on
And he
here
passed
twice
his
now,
general.
Tina.
Yeah, isn't that the San Bernardino Club?
I don't know what the name of it is.
I don't remember it either, but I think that's the San Bernardino Club.
Yeah, I think it's SPARC.
Yeah, that's it. C-Bar.
She's got 2 Zooms going now, and the one with the microphone working is the one she's not using. So,
Of course.
so we're not going to hear Tina.
We heard it a little while ago.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
she was-
working, and then she
Well, I see a
started
mute
another
on the one. She got a mic muted.
Thanks.
She's got 2 Zooms. I don't know why.
Say something, Maria.
It's not going to work. It worked earlier. We can. I don't think she can hear us.
No?
No.
Hold up a sign or something. Turn your mic
We
on.
could send a text. Let's see if I can do that. No. I don't know. I'm not very good at this.
Hey, Ed, good to see you.
Hey, Pete, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Good to hear. Hey,
Hey.
Mike, long time no
Dave,
see.
I got a question.
I was going to say. Okay, there we go. Go back to
DJ.
one.
Yeah. Dave, I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
When I tried to make a screenshot tonight, for some reason or other, I'm using the Windows key and the print screen, and it should give me a complete screenshot.
Yeah.
But what it's doing is giving me a split. I've got this screen on the right-hand side, and then I've got my other screen on the left-hand side. That's never happened before.
It's probably something Zoom. Zoom probably uses that key for a different function, and you just stumbled onto it. So if you press it again, it'll probably go back to normal. Maybe.
If
I
I
don't
press the what key?
Whatever you just did to cause it to happen.
Just
You
don't
said-
press the alt-right key.
Yeah, I think that caused it to go wrong. Tina's she got on twice. Now it looks like she's only on once, but okay. Wait,
You want to start your,
Tina, talk to us. Can you hear us? No,
No
you can't
audio.
hear her. I don't know what
think you
happened.
might hear her. She's talking.
Yeah, she tried.
She's not hooked
Oh, well.
up to the audio.
She's not muted.
She might be muted.
No, she's not
No,
muted.
not muted.
I don't know.
I got her
It
volume.
worked when she connected the first time, but then she connected again. and it didn't work.
Mendoza is.
There's
Mike.
Mike.
Hey, Randy.
Hey there.
Whoa. Okay, Tina's
maybe about
Tina
the-
took off, man. She's gonna try.
Gotta
it
have
again.
your better half get you on Zoom.
Yeah, I was jacked up there for a while.
All right. Oh, we got a pretty good crowd.
My
now.
Zoom had zogged.
So DJ, did you forward the information?
Yeah, I called
For
him
the
and talked.
meeting?
He
Okay.
has it.
You're good?
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Hey, DJ,
Yeah.
with the craziness in the housing market, you must be busy.
I have been real busy. Trying to get people to accept the offer is the hard part.
Yeah,
There's not enough houses on the market.
getting into bidding wars.
The bidding wars, yes.
Yeah.
About $20,000 over asking price if it's a four bedroom or 5-bedroom.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
People moving out of the city
Are
or
you
something.
doing real
Sorry,
estate now,
that's right.
PJ?
No, I'm doing home inspections.
Oh, okay.
Is the resale inventory that low?
It's low. Even my brother even sold his house and he's moving out of state, and he had I think 13 offers within the first day.
Wow.
Where's he moving to?
St. George.
St. George. Yeah, I know another guy that moved to St. George about a year ago.
I have a house next door. The lady passed away, and her kids were selling it. Okay, so they totally spruced it up. They had a 1-day open house, and about 5 or 6 couples, whatever, came in that night. They sold the house.
Wow.
Unbelievable, man. It's just people are buying like crazy.
Yeah. Usually there's like at least a half a dozen or a dozen homes in Sun Lakes for sale, and now there are 0.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
It was on the news tonight that you can't find a moving company anymore. They're
Wow.
all totally booked up.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
And I think UCall charges 5 times the amount for leaving California as than coming back into California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
bet
wow.
you.
They say for every one that comes into California, 5 to 10 leave.
It's cheaper to go buy a car trailer, fill it up, go use it, and then sell it once you're done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't rent them, I guess, huh?
No,
Well, I guess they're having trouble keeping vehicles here because everybody keeps renting them and take them out of state and drop them off. So
You know, rents are skyrocketing also. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I came from.
thank God there's no inflation.
Asheville, no, Greenville, no.
That's bizarre.
Franklin.
Okay.
We had friends that visited us about a couple months ago from Franklin, Tennessee, and they put their house up for sale, and they had cars literally lined up and down the street.
You're kidding? Seriously?
Really? And the people, most of them were from California. They were
Oh, no kidding.
bidding this house up in Franklin, Tennessee.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, you know, when my wife and I sold our house in Rancho, we sold it in one day, and we had 5 offers, and the one that got it, they came in with cash, absolute cash.
Huh? Gee.
Yeah.
Chinese.
No, well, the guy was a software engineer for IBM, and his wife was Asian.
Oh yeah, see, told you.
His wife was Chinese.
That was
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not going to make any assumptions.
I was looking up in Idaho, and old crappy 1950, 1960 homes are going for $250,000, $300,000 up there.
Yeah, my stepdaughter just moved up to Utah earlier this month. Her husband's working for a logistics company up there now, and they bought a 4,100 square foot house for about $380,000, and they sold their house in Glendora for $918.
My God.
Yeah, and there was a bidding war for that.
Gee.
I know.
Yeah.
The place where I grew up, my first 5 years was in Van Nuys, and I looked at it on Zillow one day. This was probably 4 or 5 months ago at least, and thinking, you know, it's a tiny little place, maybe 1,200 square feet or something. They had added on, but it was really small, and it's in a very dense area, not far from LA. Well, it's well over $1 million.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I had a friend sell their place in Altadena,
Yeah.
just a little home. They had it nice. I mean, they remodeled it and stuff, but it was well over $1 million. I forget what she said they
I
got.
can't remember. Something like 1.1 at the time. It's
Well,
probably
the
more
condo
now.
that I had,
I don't know.
the condo I had when Linda and I got married in '91 is now going for almost $1 million.
How can the people come here with such high cost of living
I know.
and be? I mean,
Yeah, how do they
I don't
afford
get it. I don't get it.
How do they afford it?
Yeah. How do you do it?
I wonder myself.
I see we have our presenter here, DJ.
Oh,
Rich
DJ.
Royce is trying to get on, but he's
He
got
doesn't
no.
have any audio. Rich, we can't hear you. Okay, connecting to audio, it says. Yeah, maybe we can hear you now. Is that our presenter? Okay. Rich, speak to me. Can we hear you? I hear something.
Here he is.
We're here, you're right.
We heard something.
Quick test, 1, 2, 3.
There
Yeah,
you are.
there.
That's better.
Gotcha.
Now you're muted. You
4,
know
5,
that probably.
6.
Okay, I'll try to mute. I have some background, so I'll mute unless I'm talking.
Okay. And I don't know if somebody else has joined us but doesn't have video.
It's ET.
It's Yeah, who knows? It's all right.
Extraterrestrial, ET.
Yeah, I always wondered what his middle name was. Now I know, 5227.
Yeah. And then the ST stands for Star Trek.
Remember, we had the person that visits, that comes to the meeting every month that doesn't have a picture or audio, and he'll text periodically.
It's a mystery gift.
So maybe that's him. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. Doesn't matter. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
look at there. It's Earl.
It's Earl.
Earl.
Hi, Earl.
Hey, what do you do, Earl?
Nice to see ya. You should know, E.T. Earl Trout. Man.
Whoa.
All right.
You got ET and you got WT. Joe's
We have
Wild Trout.
Tina's here. I don't know if we can hear her. I don't think so. I'm not seeing video. I'm not seeing audio. Oh, maybe.
Hey,
Tina,
Earl,
talk.
I don't see Edie doing backflips behind you.
She had to go to her daughter's place to take a shower because we have a shower tub, and she's got to walk in.
Oh, safer.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I was on C4 FM and I was talking to Sydney, Australia.
Oh.
Wow.
I was in Sydney once. It's a pretty city.
I was going to ask how Sydney's doing.
Some place I've never been.
It's got a house of green lights.
It's a filter.
We got about 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Hey, there's Seymour.
So the way it works during the presentation, we're going to mute we'll ask that everybody mute their audio. If I hear people make a noise, I'll mute their audio, just so we can hear the presenter. And I'm not sure, are we going to do the presentation first? Rich, do you want to, we can allow you to proceed ahead of schedule if you don't want to wait through our, 30 minutes of meeting. It's up to you.
Well, I am on call, and I'm expecting a phone call. We might get a call out here. In the
Okay, we'll let you go ahead then. That
If you don't
sounds,
mind, I can go on
yeah.
that way. I make myself available to the
okay.
call.
It sounds good. So we'll go ahead and have the presentation first.
Okay.
And it's about ready to start. Got 5 seconds, technically. At least according to my watch. All right. All right, welcome everybody. This is Dave. I'm KD6JZ, and this is the SPARC, the San Gorgonio Pass Amateur Radio Club General Meeting for March, and we meet on the fourth Thursdays each month, 7 p.m., and now we're doing Zoom for obvious reasons. And we see who's here. We have a pretty good crew. We got 16 at least, if my calculations are right, 4x4. There's Bill. Some people pop in, pop out. That's all right. All right, okay. Normally we start with the pledge. It's very difficult to try to do in unison, we've discovered, but we try anyway. And Steve, there's no flag. You don't have a flag for us, huh? We're gonna make Steve the flag man.
I got a flag.
Oh, there we go. Joe's got a flag. All right. Steve, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Thank you, guys. All right. So, let's see if we might introductions. I think I'll try to do this there's no easy way to do this. What happens with Zoom is people come and leave, and then the order changes on me. And I tried doing it in order of what I see on the screen, but it just turns out to be a total debacle. So I'm not sure how to approach it.
Dave,
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
suggestions? Yeah, Mike.
Can you open up the box on the right side, which would give you a listing of the attendees?
Okay, now you're talking about moving out of full screen mode. Let's see. Speaker view. Whoops, that's not going to work. Exit full screen. Yeah, I don't know what box you're talking about, but
It would list all the different
the people.
that are
Yeah.
attending.
Little
Let me see if
safe
I can figure
participants.
that out. Let me see if I can figure that out. Participants. Yeah, maybe I can somehow make it
They're
big.
not talking yet, and I guess I cannot get it right.
Tina, we hear you.
Yeah.
We can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Can you
we
hear
hear
me?
you. We hear you.
Oh, good.
It's working.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Tina.
Hi, Dave.
You have to get a chair.
I'm not sure how to advanced sharing options. I'm not sure how to
Tina
change
looks
it.
I
like she's
cannot.
had been slimed with a bunch of green slime.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
not
know.
the right way.
Dave, click
I-
on
I'm a-
participants.
I could not.
What do you say, Pete?
Oh, hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave,
Okay.
it's down in the participants down at the bottom.
It's a
Right.
policeman that's
I see that.
trying
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I clicked it. It
to- I
finally
don't
came up.
know.
All right. Are these in order? Yeah, look at that. All right. I'm going to go from top to bottom. First, me. I've already introduced myself.
I can't.
Tina,
Yeah,
we hear you. Hear really well.
Okay.
Okay.
that's good, but I don't see the whole
So-
screen.
Could you just double click it? Double click it.
Okay.
Double click it.
Double click it.
This is
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Good
back to
job.
my other view. All ready?
Me?
beautiful.
I was over there too.
All
Now
right.
you have the full screen.
Okay.
See, I'm here.
Yeah.
Tina's got the best audio of anybody.
Oh, yeah?
We hear you. I hear you super
When you
loud.
double click it, there's the full screen, you see?
Hello,
I'm
Hans.
supposed to see everybody.
All right. So I'm going to go down the list, and I'm just going to introduce people. And as I mention your name, you can wave, okay? And then we'll know who you are, and we get through this really quickly. Hopefully this will work. All right. So I'm Dave, KD6ZJZ, club president. Flip. Introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm Flip.
K6WM.
Well, you didn't say that.
Okay,
you said
forget
just
it.
Wait.
Teasing.
Hi, I'm Flip, K6WM.
Okay, Joseph.
Right here, KK6FYE.
Never called him Joseph before.
Yeah.
So I think the next one is Maria or Tina. Tina Maria.
I'm Tina. That what I say? Because that would have me.
Holy cow.
No, she's got volume. Okay, and then we have E.T., also known as E.T.
Earl.
Earl.
Go.
Earl, you're.
He's
What's your call sign, Earl?
Earl's missing in action.
Oh, Earl took off. Oh, he disappeared. Okay. Well, he's coming back. John, post office guy.
POG.
POG. And then John just moved around. See, the whole thing just switched around on me. It was a. So now I have no idea where I was left off. Okay, how about Jeff?
Jeff, KB68.
Okay, how about Pete Hersey?
AJ6 NRR.
All right, thanks, Pete. And Steve. AJ, it used to be AJ6.
Yeah.
No. All right, and Randy.
Hey, it's me, Randy, K6RJA from the heart of Beaumont.
And then WW6 EJM. That's a terrible call sign, by the way.
Yeah. I fat fingered it when I put it in.
That's okay.
Yeah, W6 EJM, Ed Banning.
Thanks, Ed. Let's see, everybody switched again. Let's see if I missed anybody. All right. Flip, did I get you yet? No.
Yeah, you got me.
How about Bill Seymour with one L? He's waving.
Bill Seymour, Calamasa, WA6MOD/50.
Excellent, thank you. And then KJ6UUS DJ.
I'm DJ, KJ6UUS in Banning.
Mike M. Mendoza.
I'm Mike. I'm the club treasurer at KK6BUW.
Very good, Mike. Randy got Randy already, and then Rich is our presenter. We'll introduce him in a second. Ron,
KG6SOI.
Excellent. Is there anybody I missed besides Rich? Mike. I'm sorry, Mike.
I'm Mike, WA6UIJ in the southern part of Banning.
You know something, Mike? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know. It's weird because everything's just moving constantly. It's constantly switching, just like I said. Anyway. All right. We'll get rid of that. We don't need that. Make this full size. All right. Thanks, guys. And so we'll go ahead with the program. And I'm going to have the presenter introduce himself, Rich. And Rich, please, everybody, mute yourselves so we won't get a lot of background noise and stuff. Obviously, Rich, we don't want him to mute himself, but we want everybody else to. If I hear noise, I'm going to mute you. All right?
Dave, you'll have to make him the presenter so you can...
yeah, I'll make you the presenter, too. Hold on, sir. There we are. Spotlight. Hey, that's cool. I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're a spotlighter. I don't know how. I can't make it do anything now. Here we go.
Hey, the guy is here, huh? The guy
Do you
is
have
here.
Tina?
Bring me a thumbs, please.
How to mute Tina.
I will. Whoops. I got it. Oops. All right. Sorry, Rich. I'm trying to figure this out. Share
No worries.
screen. Allow multiple participants. Advanced sharing.
It says the host disabled participant for screen sharing. Can you enable screen sharing by chance?
I think, well, try it now.
Yeah.
Can you?
There we go.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to mute Tina again. There we go.
Can you all see that?
Yep.
All right. Again, my name is Richard, KE6USA here in Banning. And for those of you who don't know me, I am currently law enforcement. I've been doing this for 7 years. And one can do in law enforcement in the department.
Sorry. Ooh, I made myself.
I've done everything: patrol, field training officer, detective, canine, narcotics, SWAT, hostage negotiation, background training. Currently, I'm the sergeant, the watch commander. I've been in court several times, testified as an expert in a multitude of things, primarily fraud, counterfeit currency, etc. And I got a pop quiz for anybody out there. If there's anybody who one crime in America is today? Not vehicle theft, that used to be, or not. Identity theft is number one crime in America. Specific reason for that. And I got some bad news for you. Social media is mainly to blame right now. Whether you get social media or not, have social media, specifically Facebook. Facebook got caught red-handed in capturing data they weren't supposed to capture, to include all the applications with contact lists, any information that was contained within your contacts. Social media and your friends and family do. Your contact, however it's listed in that person's device, was available to Facebook. And unfortunately, Facebook recently had a hack. 500 user hack. every million people, 340 million US, so you can bet there's a lot of their info stolen. Depending on what your friends or family contact list, they would have access to your birthday, your phone number, email address, that. You've probably seen an uptick already. If not, you will. And fake messages, junk emails, fault of your own. Your information's out there. Bring this to our phone. You've probably been getting a lot of fake phone.
And he's freezing up.
Arrest costs a lot of money. We're going to give you, we're going to put a warrant out for your arrest. Another big one that we're seeing now, again, there's either a warrant for your arrest or somebody that you know sent money to bail them out. Those are all people are getting phone calls now from banks, or I shouldn't say banks, people pretending they're banks, pretending to be from Microsoft, pretending to want updates for virus program, pretending to whatever, social media account, Google account, Apple account, those are all scams. Computer repair, viruses, even my favorite one is auto warranty. They keep calling you and say, hey, we noticed your car's out of warranty, give us information, we'll send the warranty for you. Problem is, those companies, they don't exist. Also, lottery, inheritance, send us this money, we're going to give you, you're part of a lottery overseas, to collect the $5 million, just got to send us $5,000 to get paperwork started, we'll send you the rest. Those are all scams. We're seeing an influx of on cell phones now. Have some strange contact info, those or not, are directly linked to malware that they can actually put on your phone without you doing anything. And once they have your phone, they can access all the apps on your phone, including bank accounts and bill pay and all your contact lists, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a bit of a problem. Emails, yeah, that's a big one too. You're going to be getting a lot of fake emails. Email phishing is something a lot of people don't realize, that when you get an email that says, hey, we have a public Amazon account, click this link and you can look at the activity. The problem is they'll have an actual Amazon.com link and it'll take you to a page that looks just like Amazon. If you look real closely at the URL account, the address up in the upper right-hand corner or left-hand corner, they kind of say, it looks like Amazon, but that little is not an O, it's a 0. It's going to take you to the page that looks on, which isn't Amazon. So don't put any information in there. Same thing with your bank accounts. It's something like BOA.com, which may be an address. When you click it, the hyperlink can take you to BOA.com, which is a Russian server. So they try to hide their true identity by trying to hide behind legitimate Google accounts, things that you use every day, your bank, your credit card, your home mortgage. If you get an email that it looks like it's coming from that, don't click on the email. If they say you got a problem with your Amazon account, go to your Amazon account direct and sign in that way. Don't ever click a link that you find within an email or a text, because those companies are never going to send you that kind of information. People, believe it or not, get involved in this every day. I deal with no less than 5 to 10 of these reports every single day in just my little city. So I know it's happening everywhere else in the nation, which is a problem. Like I said, those links, those URLs are going to take you somewhere else on Amazon or Google. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to, whatever you type in there is logged. So that's the way that they're stealing your username and your password, which is a big problem. So let me go into the scams that you probably already heard of before. So the first scam is they're going to call you from a number that's blocked, or it's marked anonymous, or the phone number doesn't exist. They're getting very, very clever now. So when they call you from a number, we'll say that, and they'll alert you that this is probably not a legitimate phone number. When you answer these phone calls, try never to, they may ask you by name. Guess this is who you're talking to. Always respond back with, and they'll act like they know you because they'll have a lot of your personal information. They'll know your name, know the city you live in, the policies on the dark web. So never affirm that who they're talking to is who they're looking at. Taking that talk, who's this? Who's calling? 9 times out of 10, they're going to hang up. Um, they're getting very clever, so they're not disguising their numbers anymore by hiding them because they don't go through. You can block those numbers, but then they just create numbers out of thin air. I got a call yesterday from Walgreens here in Beaumont. It was an actual pharmacy number from Walgreens, but it was a scam alert. The person that phone contact is a legitimate number. They're using numbers that you think are legit. They'll mask your prefix, they'll mask code to make it seem like it's somebody that you know, it's local that you should know. And that's what the talk to these people. Try to get access to your computer. Another scam will start off, and there's a problem. You know, one antivirus. We need to remote into your computer so we can take a look. What they're doing is they're locking you out of your computer. They're pulling out all of your files. They're looking at your internet history. They're gathering keystrokes to use to run the sensitive, bank information, mortgage information, things like that. So they're always going to want to try to access your account. And we're very convincing because they get away with it. They want to say, hey, you know what? Your antivirus, what we're going to do is we're going to refund your $160, but you need to let us count. So people log into the bank account, they'll put in $5,000 and say, oh, we overpaid you. We're going to need you to back to us. Well, the problem is they never put 5,000 in. And people are letting them reverse the $5,000. And once they're in your bank account, they drain it. And there's no way to track them. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, thank you for that. And that's awesome that you didn't fall victim, that you caught it in time. But like you said, once they're in the machine, you don't know what damage is left behind. So it's good to scratch that, kill everything, start all over again like you did a fresh box. And I'm thankful she didn't fall victim. Unfortunately, she's not the majority. Most people we deal with, they can drain their account, savings, checking, everything. And again, that email, right? The email valid. Of course, there's a phone number in there. Hey, call us. So that's the number they want you to call. So no antivirus is ever going to call you or want access to it. No kid's ever going to call you or send you an email. You need to log into our system ever. Nine percent. Oh, no, by all means, your email is not the only thing that they get during scam. You know, Facebook got hacked, CRW got hacked, like you said, Home Depot, Walmart, you know, their information got hacked. Now they claim they don't get credit card information, and part of that's true, and one reason is why. Again, they'll ask for your credit card number. Never give credit card numbers to anybody. There's no need for it. And I'll tell you why. Your credit card that you have right now has a chip on it. That was required a few years ago. All the ATMs and all of the retailers are supposed to have chip readers now, and there's a reason for that. It's because all I need is your credit card number, the expiration date, and your security code in the back, and I own that credit card. That credit card number can be used for anything. What the chip does is it never shares the credit card information. The chip generates a random, one-time use only code that can only be used for that transaction, and it doesn't work anymore. So the way the law was written is that banks have to issue the chip and merchants have to have chip readers. If you had a chip card and the merchant didn't and you got hacked, the merchant was responsible for all the fraud on that card. If the merchant had a chip reader and the bank didn't give you a card, then the bank was on the hook to reimburse you for all the fraudulent charges. By now, every merchant and every bank is issuing a chip and they have a chip reader. And that's why that chip is there. Again, it creates a one-time code that's good for that one transaction, and nobody ever gets your card number. So there's no reason to give anybody a card number. Treat that like your social security number. Don't give that out to anybody. Also, these scams, I love them. If you got a warrant for your arrest, you got to settle your debt with the IRS, you want to buy something, they never ask for cash or your credit card number. What do they want? Hey, can you give us, go buy a Google gift card or buy an Amazon card or buy me an Apple card, scratch out the number, give me those account numbers, and we'll call it even. Nobody is going to ask payment in a gift card. But people get scammed, literally, I read one the other week, $10,000. $10,000 in gift cards. They never got it back. There's no way to trace them. Also, never send anything.
Can you talk closer to the microphone maybe?
I'll try that. Yeah, there is another. If you want to do online things, you can use something like PayPal. PayPal will never give your credit card number to anybody else. Credit card companies like PayPal because if you're they will reimburse you. If they don't, the banks will reimburse you on PayPal. One way of doing online without the use of a credit card. And you mentioned the tapping credit card. Now, in addition to that chip, they also have RFID built in, so you can just hold your card up to a card reader. Be very careful on that. They have wallets that have RFID shielding built in, or you can buy just a little card. It's called an RFID block. It looks like a credit card. It goes behind your credit card and blocks RFID signals. Because what these hackers are doing now is they'll kind of hard now with social distancing, but what they do is they get close to a person, they have a little wand, they can just scan your wallet without taking it out of your pocket and kind of capture your credit card number. So same with passports, you want to put those in an RFID protected shield. They're not very expensive, probably 10 or 20 bucks on Amazon. RFID cards, RFID blockers are like $4 or $5. They look just as well, but you want to block that signal when not in use. Yeah, you really want to make yourself as small as target as possible. So if you don't need a credit card, don't carry it. People link their credit cards to their smartphone now, so your smartphone has RFID in it. That's not bad because if you're using it through your phone, the RFID still uses the chip, so you're not transferring your credit card number. You're creating a one-time code. Once that code's used, it can't be used for anything else. So still nobody gets your credit card information. And like I said, be careful if you're using any kind of no legitimate companies are going to ask you to pay for anything via gift card, so don't fall for that. Many people do.
Hey,
Western
Rich.
Union,
Rich, I have a question. I know it's probably not the time to ask for questions, but what do you do in a restaurant when you give them your credit card and they take it in the back room and they run it or whatever? What's to stop them from copying the number, copying the expiration date, and copying the security thing on the back and selling it to somebody else?
the short answer is nothing. As a matter of fact, don't ever show me your credit card because I can look at it for about 2 seconds and I can read all 16 digits back to you.
Yeah.
And that's my memory. And when these waiters and waitresses take your cards, there's no reason for that. I mean, like I said, you want to make yourself as small a card as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants are unfortunately like that. They'll take the card, they'll take it to the machine, you don't know what they're doing with it, and bring it back. That's an unnecessary risk that, if you do that, there's nothing stopping them.
Yeah.
And once your credit card's out there, it's very hard to trace back where it actually got leaked. We don't know if it was in a restaurant. We don't know if it was an auto repair shop.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know. We catch people when we do. It's like peeling an onion. They have 25 different IDs, 50,000, credit card numbers.
Yeah.
That they're just selling, or maybe they just bought them off the internet. So it's extremely difficult to try to investigate. We lose billions and billions, that's a B, billions through identity theft and fraud, be it benefits, EBT, credit cards, banks, you name it.
Well, that's just. Well, one of the things that I found at work, I've had 3 of the Amazon hits this week, or between last week and this week. And I'll tell you what, Rich, they are looking so accurate. I even had to double take. That 0 was all fixed. Everything was just perfect, and a phone number. The only way you can really combat it is to go straight to Amazon on your own account. Don't deal with those people. And if there's nothing on Amazon, then you know it's fraud. Just delete the damn thing.
You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Can I inject something? A couple of things. On all my cards that I have, anytime there's a use of a charge on any of my cards, I get a notice on my cell phone as well as my PC. Yeah. And I do use the RFI protection in my wallet. I actually got 2. I got the inner liner RFI, and then part of it is also I put a Faraday shield using foil. So,
it works.
Yeah, but I've with PayPal, I've had a scam with them where I got an email and it wasn't them, and I turned it over to them as well as with the bank on a couple of occasions. But when I get phone calls like you were talking earlier, Rich, by the way, which department are you with? Sheriff or local PD?
PD.
PD, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they, what I do is I'll get a phone number of a call. It looks like one of my friends calling, and I don't quite remember the phone number. What I usually do is I county fraud department, and they hang up. So that's it. Thanks.
They'll usually start trusting you when you catch them off. Yeah, sure. That's a great point too. Most of your credit card companies, your bank statements have the auto notification. So anytime there's a deposit or a charge, you'll get an instant email or a text message. That's a great eyes on that and knowing immediately if someone's using your account. The banks are doing that is because they're being victims. Unless they're, you know, and by the way, my number West Union or any of those, but those are that way. There's no way, and don't use in currency, coin, Dogecoin, everything else. Those are also untraceable. And I'll tell you what's frustrating for all of us in law enforcement is we have a hard time finding victims. The reason it's such a big crime and a big problem is let's say somebody for your credit card number and they do $1,000. You call the bank, said, nope, I didn't charge these aren't mine. You call law enforcement. Law enforcement takes the report, says, yes, you didn't make this area. We file a report. Once the bank, they generally read on the victim. The victim now becomes the bank. Bank refuses to prosecute. The bank will not go after any because it's not worth their time. They can make up that loss by, as you say, that's federal, but they can do it through bank account fees and checking account fees and all these other fees associated with bank accounts. They can absorb that into the stuff that they do on the back end that you and I will never see. At the ultimate end of the day, you and I are all paying for all this fraud because they refuse to prosecute. The only time they'll get involved is if it's overseas, which is even more difficult, but that involves Interpol and this all of these and stolen is going overseas. Every single phone call you're getting, I guarantee it's going to be somebody with an accent that you can barely understand. And if you can keep them on the line long enough, which is a game that I play, every time I get a scam phone call, I have a bet with the guys I'm around who can keep them on the phone the longest before you start cussing out or hanging up. Because I figure the longer they're talking to me, the less they yell. And these guys know, call you by name. They know your number. They think they know your address, but in some cases they don't. But the phone call, once again, never sending an email that you don't know. Never going to tell you Amazon will never send you anything about Amazon or the bank or the card. Call the bank or credit card direct. Use the number on the back of your card. That's when I wouldn't even Google, hey, what's the number to B of A? Because you don't know if that's going to be a legitimate B of A number or a fake number. Look at the prime example. I'm getting a potential scam call. Let me answer this. Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Good evening. This is Chanel calling from the American Red Cross Blood Center.
Thank you. False alarm. That was a legitimate blood bank call. Yeah. But I was hoping I would get a live one here again tonight. Wanting to give me an extended warranty on my car, let me know that I'm being audited by the IRS. Still got to take care of that warrant that's been out there on me for about a year now. I'm not going to pay anybody in this. So anyway, where was I? So how do we protect our passwords? Passwords are extremely important. Let me see if I can say something else. That says how secure is my password? I'm going to type in a password. Yep, I'm going to password. My password is password. How long will it take somebody to break my password? My password is password. It's gonna. I typed in password. I typed password. Do it again. I'll password one more time. PASSWRID. That's my password is password. It can be broken instantly. What if I put just a couple more characters on there? There's 3 more characters on top of that. Is going to take 4 years for a computer to crack. This site, I've got a link to it. It's just called security.org. And you can type in anything you want. It will tell you how long it will take a computer to break your password. 600 microseconds for a password. You just type. Yep. numbers. So, example, license plate reader, type password, just generic password. It's gonna be, I'm gonna capitalize it. So I'm gonna use capital password. It's gonna take us to break. Now I'm gonna use the same password, but I'm gonna do something different. You can substitute letters. So I'm gonna use the P for password. The A, I'm not gonna use the A, I'm gonna use a number for my A. And instead of S, dollar signs for my, I'm gonna use a W instead of O, I'm gonna use 0, RD. Now that's password. Now instead of being cracked in 5 seconds, it's gonna take about 19 minutes to crack. We made it that much harder by using what we call license plate. Instead of a L, maybe use a 1. Instead of E, maybe use a 3. Instead of instead of a sign, maybe an 8. And certainly use exclamation points, question marks, percentages. Watch what happens if I put 3 more characters on top of that password. 200 years to crack, and all I do is put 2 more characters on there. So be smart about your password. That is a big, big problem, and that's how people are actually getting in there. So again, how strong is your password? Password is going to be broken in 5 seconds. Password with license plate reader is going to take about 19 minutes to break. So use that little security.org website. It's a great little website. Play around with some potential passwords and see how long it would take a computer to break. Show you how secure your passwords are. That's going to be a big, and change your passwords often. Anytime you suspect a breach, or you hear that Walmart had a breach, or PayPal had a breach, or IRS had a breach, it's a good idea to change your passwords every 30 days to 90. Never use the same password twice. As a matter of fact, government codes, we are prohibited from using the same password in the last 10 times. So it's got to be changed more than 10 times before it can reuse the password, but never use it again. Don't use the same password, and change it often. And if you try to keep a list of all your passwords, don't write them down or put them in a phone, because hackers are going after the phone. They're going to get your passwords because you gave it to them. So try to be smart. Use a long, gigantic password that only you can remember, and then you can make it unique to PayPal or Amazon, and just put whatever your secret password is, and just add PayPal at the end of that, or whatever your super secret password is, and add BA on the back of that. It just makes it a lot harder to break. And then add special characters, exclamation point, question mark, parentheses. You would be amazed at how difficult that would be to crack and how long that would take. So passwords is the #1 thing that you can do to protect your account. Use some antivirus programs. There's some out there that are pretty good that will actually bundle their benefits. They'll give you LifeLock, which will monitor your credit. They'll give you free VPNs, which is a virtual private network. Never use public Wi-Fi. There's no such thing as free Wi-Fi. It comes with a cost always. So what a VPN does, I like Norton 360. They added LifeLock, and they added a VPN in there. So it's run a network out in the public at Starbucks, wherever. Make sure you turn that VPN on. What that does is it makes it harder for somebody to actually access the content on your phone, and actually to monitor what information and what websites you're visiting. Included in some of the bigger antivirus, and they update themselves pretty frequently. Bear in mind that even those guys will never call you or send you an email to ask you to change your password or ask you to confirm your account. They're pretty good at doing the job of protecting you. We would discuss never click on any links or text and emails that you don't recognize. Those are coming to us in the form of text messages now too. You're going to get the strange number on your phone, text message you've never heard of before, with just lines of just some web address you've never seen before. Delete those immediately, or even block them. Do not ever click on those. Never give information out over your phone. We discussed that. And here's the new thing that we're seeing. Don't ever press any buttons on your phone during a phone call. Don't press 1 for English. Don't press 1 for unsubscribe. What these guys are doing now is there's actually a service of the phone company that enables you to pay bills with touch tones for a confirmation yes or no. What they'll do is they'll set up an account without your knowledge. They'll get you on the phone. It might be a recording. If you want to opt out, press 1. 1 just happens to be authorization to bill your phone bill, $50 for some services you never ordered. So don't ever identify yourself to people you don't know, and don't ever press any keys when asked to do so on the telephone, unless you know who you're talking to. Unless you made the call, right. Right. I wouldn't even call them. Yeah, we have a saying in law enforcement, unless you came in the same car as me, you're not on my side. So there's a lot of good people out there that want help. If you didn't come with me in my car, you're not part of my team here. So unless you made the phone call to them, you know, if you didn't call them for help, they're not calling to help you, they're calling to help themselves. Just remember that there's nobody, I promise you this, nobody from the IRS, nobody from DOJ, nobody from law enforcement, no bank, no credit card, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, no social media companies, no insurance committee, no mortgage company, no auto warranty, nobody who's legit is ever going to call you and ask you to verify anything, your account number, your password, anything. They will never, ever do that. If you're getting those phone calls, they are fake.
Rich, did you say PC-Matic is not a good program?
I didn't comment on PC Mag. I don't know much about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Norton security does a pretty good job. You can limit the websites you go to. If you happen to wander in a website you shouldn't be in, they'll give you an alert. You sure you want to go here because you know we think this is suspicious activity. They also have pretty good service. Part of their LifeLock, they will actually monitor the dark web and alert you. So the last time there was a data breach with one of the social medias, I got an alert and they were able to tell me that your account that you have with this vendor was seen on the dark web. And that tells you that you need to go to this account, whatever it is, PayPal or whomever, and change that password immediately. They have a very good record of monitoring the dark web. And you'll get an instant alert whenever they find something suspicious, whether it be an email that was leaked, a password that was leaked, an account name that was leaked, or address that was leaked. They do a very good job of monitoring that, and it's all included in their regular service for the antivirus. I'm not plugging Norton. That's just one that I happen to use. There's plenty of them out there. Do your homework, whatever you feel comfortable doing, but make sure they have the ability to scan not only your web activities, but also your emails coming in. Make sure they have some kind of thing, some kind of app for your phone, right? They should be able to have antiviruses for your phone, VPNs for your phone, as well as your desktop or your iPad. There's a lot of good ones out there. And just like you're monitoring your bank statements as they come through, it's a good idea to get a hold of one of the credit card, the credit reporting agencies, your Experian or TRW or TransUnion. They are required by law to give you 2 reports free year. A lot of them do it online. They can do hard copies. They may charge you, but you want to stay on top of that. That's when people realize that, oh, I've never had this credit card. It's been open for 2 years until the bill collector starts on your door. We're starting to see it myself, but I'm hearing a lot of your house without you knowing about it. And there's something like there is. Yeah, that. Any better? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. We talk about credit. Okay. Did we talk about credit reports? And oh, so yeah, 2 free credit reports. Oh, there's my.
It's a bandwidth issue now. Bandwidth. Yeah. Well, he's freeze framing. He's freeze framing all. Freeze framing.
Okay. I have to turn my VPN off on the home. Let me try something real quick here. Any better? Okay. You can also sign up for a free service it's called Informed Delivery. If you haven't done that, you've been scanning on mail for decades. Okay, perfect.
I get it daily. I get it in my email and I see what's coming in my mailbox.
UPS and FedEx offer the same service. If you have an account with UPS and you have such a package, they'll track it and they'll tell you when it's being delivered, when you can expect it, where it is in the shipment, all like informed delivery. Do not leave your mail and your packages for any longer than necessary. Retrieve those stuff. We're having porch pirates. They come in, they just steal packages. They follow UPS truck around and they just steal packages. So never leave your mail or your packages out in the open. Retrieve those as soon as possible. Because that's where they're also getting some of the information still. Title theft, we haven't had a big issue on that, but it's becoming big. People are taking out loans in your name, selling your house from underneath you. There are services that will monitor your title if you want to pay that. They're saying that if you're a victim, there's nothing you can do, but that's not exactly true. It's just that it takes forever to investigate that and close that and get the money back. So to save yourself a headache, that's an option that's out there if anybody's interested in looking at that as far as the paid service for protection. Again, I can't hit every single scenario that's out there or that's going to be out here. I just wanted to give you some basic overall ideas on what you can do to make yourself a smaller target and then mitigate your exposure to the digital world that we're living in. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
I got one. Hey, Rich, is all the stuff you mentioned has been going on in spades, you know, and everybody understands that. How can we expect just even the local police department to try to dig in on this other than the pinpointing the local stuff that's happened? Is there what entity is working on it from a computerized national organization to fight fraud or anything? Is there such a thing, or is somebody even thinking about that?
Well, the feds have a high-tech fine unit. Some of the local departments have a high-tech fine unit. The problem is when you start pulling back that onion, most of this activity is occurring overseas. I can't exactly go to Taiwan. I can't go over to China. I can't go to Russia. I can't go to Iran to retrieve this money.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it makes it very difficult. It's up to us to protect ourselves because the government is not here to help you. There's nothing the government can do that you can't do for yourself better. So don't rely on them. Do what you can to mitigate your exposure. And the feds have that particular problem is you can't track the money once it's out of town. You can't trace cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all this other cryptocurrency, you can't trace those. They're designed to be untraceable for that very reason. They want to stay off the grid. So you can buy all kinds of weapons, drugs, people. You can buy all that on the internet without anybody knowing about it. And the feds are having a hard time keeping up with that because it's all encrypted.
Yeah, good point. Good point. True.
On your password, you said about every 30 days we should be changing the password on all our accounts.
I'd recommend probably at least every 30. Some government agency guidelines say every 60 to 90. Or anytime you suspect there's been activity that wasn't authorized by you. Some people use, for example, password 1, password 2, password 3, whatever it is that's easy for you to remember, but hard for somebody else to guess. But I would recommend anywhere between 30 and 90 days you should probably change your password. And changing it could just mean just adding another character on top of what you've already got and making that password longer and harder to guess.
Yeah. Let me ask you one other thing and then I'll get off. Can you do these presentations for other organizations about the security theft and that? Because I have someone in mind I can get in touch with you later that might be interested in having you doing a presentation. No. Not here, no. This is a friend of mine who's the president of a local Rotary.
Yeah. What I've done is I'll share that PowerPoint I just put together, just got some basic highlights on it. I will share that. I'll give that to anybody who wants it.
Okay.
If you send me an email, it's just my call sign, KE6USA. It's a Gmail, so at gmail.com. Send me an email saying you want this. I'll send you a copy of the PowerPoint, and you can share that with anyone you want. Okay, yeah. Somebody send me a link or a request, and I'll just shoot you a copy of it, and you can share that. Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Perfect. Yeah, that'll work.
Good presentation, Rich. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Good information. Really good information.
Very enlightening.
One question.
Good, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What security program did you say included LifeLock?
It's semantic. It's called Norton, Norton. Norton.
Oh, yeah.
Norton Security, right. Norton bundles with their subscription of Norton, they also give you LifeLock and they give you a free VPN. And depending on which one you buy, it'll protect up to 5 to 10 devices. So you can put that program on all your computers, on your iPads, on your cell phones, 10 friends or family members. You get 10 licenses, up to 10 licenses with Norton Security.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Rich, I got one this morning. It said, thank you for your renewal of Norton antivirus for $499.
That's exactly what I was telling you to avoid.
Yeah, I did. I just deleted it because I don't use Norton. How the hell can I renew it?
The reason for attacking Norton is because Norton is one of the #1 programs used by most people.
Yeah.
So the odds of them sending that email to somebody with legitimate Norton account is very, very high.
Yeah.
But personally, when I say Norton will never send you that notice, you have to log into your Norton account and set that up, and you'll know exactly what program you bought and how many licenses are out there. So
I had a good I had a good laugh because I don't use Norton. I thought, well, all they have to do is hit a few and they're ahead, you know?
Yeah, I got a call from Apple saying that my purchase of $1,400 for the new iPhone 12 is put on hold. I need to verify my account by clicking this link. I don't have an iPhone, so that's
I know. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know what's crazy, Dave, is we tend to be kind of up on it a little bit and we dig into it and blah blah blah. But how many of the other billions of people or millions of people haven't got a clue? Okay, so they're gonna get yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, Dave, what, Dave, one day I got 42 uh, telemarketing calls. And in the phone system I have, once I recognize the area code, I have call blocking on my phone system. But what I've started doing is I connected up my printer, which is also a fax machine. So when I get these calls, I, and they think they're yeah, yeah, because there's that's right, because they think you're talking to a fax machine. And it
that
works
helps.
every
But what
time.
they're doing now is they're getting clever now. So I had a conversation with the phone company. I said, why in the world are you sending a phone call to me that's not attached to a physical number? With the voice over IP protocols out there, the phone company says there's no way for it to track the origin of a phone call. With I'm calling Bravo Sierra on that. There's no way that a phone company can't tell you where a phone call came from. That's how they are able to connect so many calls together.
Yeah.
But with the advent of voice over IP and the multitude of phone companies out there, it does make it a little bit more difficult for them to do that. So changing or blocking numbers only works a little bit because what they do is they get around that. They just call you from a brand new number. Sometimes that number exists, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they think it's like Walgreens down the street, and you'll pick up the phone thinking it's Walgreens because that's your call ID. It turns out not to be, and you can't block that number because that company legitimate will call you. So it becomes the whole thing is a hot mess. And if anybody, God forbid, should fall victim to any kind of identity theft, let me explain how the law works on that. People would get so much of a runaround if somebody got a hold of your credit card, for example, and charged something in Nevada and Arizona. You'd be told, well, the crime happened in Arizona, go call Arizona, or it happened in Nevada, go to Nevada.
Yeah.
What the law did now, the law changed and said if anybody suspects any crime, victim of fraud or anything else, the agency, the jurisdiction falls in the agency for where you reside. So if you live in Beaumont or Banning, those PDs are required to take the initial report and send it to whatever agency that may be affected, those out of state, another county, another city. That's how we follow up on that. But ultimately, what we're saying is they're not other states; they're actual other countries, and that becomes problematic.
Hey, Rich, another question is how's the security with VPNs? Is that deteriorating or is it still kind of holding?
A virtual private network is all that means is that you're going through
A separate server.
You're going through. It's a separate server. It could be a virtual server. It could be a physical server.
Right.
The information is not readily available through a Wi-Fi. There's a little level of encryption to it, but it makes your communication hidden to anybody with an open Wi-Fi account. It does slow your server down. I mean, it slows your processors down because it has to bounce that signal through, in some cases, different satellites, different communication, different systems. It will impact your speed, but that's nothing compared to the data that you're exposing yourself to.
Yeah.
The other hackers do. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I got a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I got through the last time, but Richard, you said that the bank will never call you. Several years ago, after I purchased an iMac through Best Buy, I got a call on a Friday evening from Wells Fargo wanting to know if I had authorized the use of my credit card for such and such purchase for a certain amount. I mean, it's about $1,100. I said no. They said, okay, that answers our question. It's, they were going to change. I think they sent me a new card, but the bank did call me and to verify that no, I had not made a purchase.
Let me clarify that. When I said the bank will never call you, the bank is going to call you to verify a recent purchase to detect fraud. The intent when the bank will never call you to verify your account information. The bank already knows what account you have. The bank will never call you and ask for your password. You already know your password. They will never ask you to verify anything. Unless you set it up that way. My bank, I told my bank, if you have any purchases out of state, you call me. So I'm expecting that phone call because I told the bank to do that. And to protect themselves, the bank may automatically just say, okay, I have a big purchase that doesn't match your spending pattern. If you go months and months without spending anything and all of a sudden buy a $5,000 or whatever, they're going to flag that and maybe get a hold of you, and they're not going to ask you for your account number. They're not going to ask you for your password. They may just ask you, just like you said, hey, did you authorize a purchase? And if they can't tell you the exact date, dollar amount, and where that purchase happened, they're probably not from the bank. So yeah, Wells Fargo will do that. Chase will do that. Some other ones will do that. So when I said the banks will never call you, I meant they'll never call you to verify information that they already have.
Yeah, it was probably, and we think it was probably a Best Buy employee trying to use the card number because I had gone to the local Best Buy and he didn't have the security code on the back. So there you go. And I mentioned this a few months ago, happened to be talking with the manager at the Harbor Freight here. And he said, yes, this has happened at Harbor Freight. And, you just got to be very careful with it. And, but I haven't had it happen since. So there you go. And by the way, thanks for your presentation.
Yes, thank you.
I when I have a large purchase, which I just made some very large purchases with my one credit card, I called my card company, informed them what the amounts were, and then they called me back as each charge was placed from the company I was dealing with. So they had double security. They verified the amounts that I had gave them in the phone call. So yeah, it worked out quite well with the bank, my credit card company. That was Discover.
Yes. This is Earl. maybe I missed it, spoofing of your own number where they're calling you from your own telephone number?
Yeah.
Sometimes they get lucky. Again, they steal numbers from contact lists, and of course, your phone number is in your contact list because you may want to call home. So they just go down the list and they'll call. They're very indiscriminate about the phone numbers they'll try to spoof. And like I said, they spoofed Walgreens, they spoofed Walmart, they spoofed Best Buy, and it's quite possible they'll just spoof your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was
Right.
Is it true, Rich, that some of the offshore scammers, they'll get phone numbers like in Nevada or Arizona and use them to spoof you with? Have you heard
Yeah.
anything like
What
that?
they'll try to do is they'll try, like they said, they'll try to make it as close to home as possible. So you're probably not likely to pick up the phone from a phone call from, I don't know, 217, because you don't know where the heck 217 is, but you'll pick one up from your area code and prefix because, like you said, it could be a neighbor or somebody else. You're more apt to do that. And the ones that ask the IRS are not calling from the DC area, so they're certainly not with the IRS. They're calling from a number that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And 99, yeah. Right. Some of them actually got DOJ's number and actually used their DOJ number to make a phone call. The problem is you can't call that number back. You'll have to be the DOJ. So you don't know what they're calling you. So you can't, I mean, you can block everyone who's just going to tell you from a different number. I wouldn't recommend calling them back because some of those are just figuring out which numbers are threats. If you actually answer one, they'll know that this is a live number. They put this on the database and you're going to be on everybody's phone call list from here to China. So it's, there's no way around it. No. They're hitting cell phones, and I'm pissed with the phone.
I know this after just since 6 or 8 months ago, the quantity of crap that I'm getting has increased significantly. So it must really be hitting the U.S. in spades. It's unbelievable the amount that has increased over the last few months. Yeah.
So your emails that you're getting that you didn't ask for, you didn't solicit, you didn't do business with, that have that little unsubscribe at the bottom, don't do that. All you're doing is you're telling them this is a valid email account. Send
right. Right. Yeah, just never open anything out of the email you don't recognize because there's hidden viruses in there and there's hidden transmissions of all kinds of stuff they can get out of your computer. So don't even bother to open it. Just delete it. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Good show, Rich. Good show.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, guys. I hope I stay with my time limit here. I didn't keep track. And we talked about digital stuff this time. I have another PowerPoint presentation that's not quite as long for another day. that goes over detecting counterfeit currency, which is also a big problem today. So in our lifetimes, I'm looking around here, during our lifetimes, our currency has changed 4 times. And every one of them is still legal tender, valid a bunch of states. So again, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I'm always available if anybody has any questions. Send me that email. I'll send you the PowerPoint. You can get that out on the distribution list. And with that, I'm going to ballot and listen for as long as I can.
Rich, you've obviously peeled back the onion many layers, but the problem is the onion is growing.
Yes, yes it is.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. Okay, 10 minutes.
I need another beer.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Were you on 20 meters this afternoon at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
I worked an EA2 kilo, EA2K in Spain.
Oh, okay.
But I only got like a 5.6 report. It was really not a really good connection, but hell, you know, it's something to connect with anyway.
The CW?
No, sideband.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never worked sideband.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could hardly understand Rich. Maybe about 85% of the time I couldn't copy him.
Yeah, no, I had the same problem until he got closer to the microphone. Then I could make it out a little bit better.
Yeah, even then I couldn't. It was muffled. I couldn't.
I wonder if he has high-speed internet or very slow internet. Do you know, DJ? Oh, okay.
I figured it was just Wi-Fi and it was just a bad.
Yeah. Bad connection. Not good at all.
Well, I have 100 and I have 100 up and down fiber optic Fios, so I have very good internet. I think my VPN was on. So,
yeah.
Larry, did you just have eye surgery?
I had a Mohs surgery where they take off the skin cancer.
Yeah.
Right here in my eyebrow yesterday. So that's why it looks like I got a black eye and a patch.
Yeah, I've had.
I thought it was maybe you didn't do your honeydew and your wife took it out on you.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Janice to you. I'm going to tell them that you smacked me the other day. But those surgeons said, "Oh, I'll have this black eye and this scar here for probably quite a while." It lasts about a month, unfortunately.
Really? Gee.
Let's hope it gets better than that. But Janice was telling me, "I'm going to put makeup on you."
Well, it's a good conversation piece.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. The guy was interesting. Well, I just got in on the last half. What was he talking about primarily? Just scams and so forth?
I've had quite a few phone calls from, they say they're from Amazon and somebody bought an iPhone.
Yeah, I get that.
Several of those. And so I get on the computer, I go to Amazon and I look to see for orders and there's no order on there. So then I know I'm okay, but still it's a little disconcerting. Yeah.
We got a new one today from UPS. They called and said they had a package for us and they wanted us to verify our information.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yep.
I had one last week, I think it was, and some charge they were verifying whatever. So I decided to call the number back just for ha-has. And I got this hello from what sounded like he was from India. And I think, and I'm not exaggerating, I used every cursed foul word a Navy man could think of. And all I heard was click on the other end. No, he didn't want to hear it.
So it could have been Russia. It could have been, like you said, Iran.
Yeah.
These guys are experts.
Yeah.
Rich mentioned that one of the ways they could get information from you is through social media. And I have several social media accounts, and absolutely 0% of them is my real name. I have every single one of my social media accounts is a fake name. It's a fake email address, and it's all fake information that I put in the profile. So there's nobody that can find me through social media. As a matter of fact, it's a violation of their rules. Yes, absolutely. It says right on several of them. It says right on there you can't do that. But that didn't stop me.
I don't even use. Yeah.
I put 2 L's in your name.
Yeah, you could have a BILL, and then instead of see more, you could have see less. That's off.
I just refuse to use social media. I don't use it at all because to me, it does nothing more than eat up bandwidth. Okay, and I'm just totally against it. Yeah. I don't even care whose mother had lunch with her sister. I mean, I just don't care about that stuff. So I don't even use it. I don't use any social. Yeah. Something for the housewives to do. Yeah.
One of the things that I do, like I was talking about all the telemarketer calls that I've been getting, all my friends, when they call, if they hear my fax machine answer, then they call me on the cell phone. Because then they know, oh, okay, he's getting the telemarketer calls. So then I see on my cell phone, because it's only basically friends and family who have my cell number. And so then when I get that, then I know it's a legitimate call. And that's the workaround I use. And these phone number generators, after they hit your phone a few times and hear that fax machine, they'll list you as a fax, and they'll take your number out of the sequence from calling it again.
Yeah, but Joe, you're going to miss that important call that wants to give you $10 million from a hidden account.
You see me holding, hey, Flip, you see me holding my breath? I mean, PCH will call me up and say, we're coming with your $5,000 a week prize.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We made a truck made.
Yeah.
Hey Spence, what happened? Your girlfriend knock you in the eyeball, or she said shut up, and you thought she said stand up?
Something like that. Oh, a little surgery yesterday. Social media though is pretty good. Like where you guys live in Solera or Sun Lakes, don't you have a Facebook page so you know everything that goes on over there?
Who gives a royal rats? Yeah. It's a minutia site. Yeah. Over here, doggies that get lost, they're usually coyote or bobcat food.
Just a quick comment, Dave. As far as next door is concerned, it's, it's got a bunch of political arguments and all that and jokes. But, however, it is a good place to sell things that you might want to sell. And
yeah,
it is. Yes, I've used it. It's good.
I got a credenza to get rid of, so maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, we're 17 at the max. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Did everybody read the minutes, I hope?
Make a motion, we accept them as is.
I'll second it. I'll second. Yep.
He sent me an email with the amount. It's got $6,036.31. Yeah.
No pressure. No pressure, DJ. No pressure.
I know it's getting close to field day, so the meeting before field day will probably be on field day. However it lines up will be on field day. Yeah. And the meeting after will be the unwind. Yeah.
Question: have we moved any forward at all as to what we're doing for field day?
I think we do have a commission, and Sam's not here. I know Sam was, but I forgot the other person that was in that.
No. If you want to, I got the application. Am I on?
Yeah.
I have the application. What I will need from either Mike or Jeff is the policy for our liability.
That's Mike. Mike's not on.
Yeah.
Mike BUW.
Where's the application for?
Yeah, application to where? Steve?
I start,
Oh,
okay. Ralph, the Parks and Rec director, mentioned that we were not that we didn't have it open to the public last year, and I said I know we were forbidden that. We're supposed to be, the state's supposed to open back up at on June 15th, so we should be good, and it will be there. And I just assured him that we would be, all we're interested in is the grassy area. We're not going to use electricity or the outhouses. We'll supply our own, or if we have a motorhome there, that'll be it. We can do that. Turn the sprinklers off. There is a possibility that there will be some equestrian events there, but we've been there before when they've had that, and there's been no problem. That's mostly centered around the arena, the parking area that's down below the upper green. So we should be fine. And Ralph is he wants to work with us. So
good. That's
so
a plus.
It sounds like we have decided on Dysart for sure, because I went to Noble Creek Park and to the administration building about 3 weeks ago and told them that asked them about the availability of Bogart Park, and they told me that there were 2 areas that would accommodate us, and I told them that I would get back to them. But obviously, okay, that's what I'm referring to. There are 2 areas where you can spend 24 hours a day there, or set 27 hours. So I was very specific about that. She initially told me, well, this area, but you have to be out by sunset. I said, no, we need it all night long. And she said, well, these are the 2 areas that you can do that. So obviously we're already, the train has already left the station on Dysart this, but maybe next year I can start a little earlier in the year, and I can check out Bogart for us.
May I make a comment? We have used Bogart in the past, and it worked out all right. We also were up there with I can't remember if it were the Desert Rats or the Coachella Valley ARC, but they were also up there at that time. And whether we were visiting or not, I don't know. An alternative location is Coombs Middle School, or Continuation School. Now, we've used that before, and that's actually a pretty good site. But we also had a club member who was one of the school district employees who facilitated things. So I don't know anymore. No.
Dave?
Bogart Park. Yeah.
Yeah, on Dysart, if there's going to be another activity there, is parking going to be an issue? Okay.
Comment? Okay. Steve, I don't recall that we ever had both of our clubs, Desert Rats and SPARC, operating at Bogart at the same time. My recollection is that we had shifted away from there at one point, and Desert Rats came in, but I don't believe we ever were there at the same time. So
you're right, Mike. That's correct. But I think we visited them, and I confused them. So.
Well, I think with, I'm not sure.
And by the way, just in case for those who weren't on earlier, I happen to have an extra field day diary book here. If anybody wants it, just get in touch with me. It's yours free. Put it in print.
We are. I have had 5 candidates contact me. So we'll see if they all show up. And we're on for 9 a.m.
Yeah. Sure.
So Pete, how are you fixed for VEs? Do you need me or not?
When we sent out the message, I only got one reply, and that was from Mike. But since then, I've contacted Jeff, and he's going to be there, and Dave is going to be there. So we have.
I'll be there.
Oh yeah, you didn't send me a message, Tina.
Oh, I forgot.
No, okay. Well, so we have just about the bare minimum.
Sounds like you have.
You're welcome. You're welcome to come, Bill.
Well, okay.
How about Mike?
Who?
Mike, UIJ.
Oh, he said he's coming. I said that.
I am coming.
FYI, Pete, I did not get a message, email message soliciting VEs from you. I was not on that list.
No, it comes from Jeff. He sends it out.
That's from me, and you should be on it, Bill.
Okay. Well, you might want to double check because I don't have a memory of receiving that. But it sounds like you're good to go, so I won't be there.
Okay, but you are always welcome.
Races is there, and we have a quarterly meeting coming up. I may have even missed it. It might have been last night at Zoom. And yeah, so I think otherwise nothing new. There's been a lot of volunteer stuff coming from county EMD requesting help. A lot of it's been for the Riverside area, so not very many members are going to be responding to Riverside. That's it.
I used to go, and I'll be restarting once they get back in mode again. When I see Mike at the Cafe Royale, I'll ask him about it. Who runs the PASCON? I'll slowly get back on board with that, Dave.
Well, I will.
Before
This is Larry. You know, I will attend. I attend it all the time because they have the meetings, but they haven't had it for the year. Right. Well, I haven't heard. I talked to Mike a couple of times. He didn't know when they were going to start up again either. So when I get a word, I'll let you know. And Joe, if you get started, let me know. No, they haven't. They're not that technical savvy.
Before we move completely past races, I will mention that there is a class a Racy's class via Zoom this coming Tuesday. It's at 1 o'clock. So I'm already registered for that class via Zoom.
Yeah, comment. I think that is, Bill, do you recall if that was a weather thing, weather-related presentation?
No, the weather-related one was last month. This one is on repeaters.
Oh, repeaters, yes, yes.
Nope.
No, not at all. Well, but they're pretty consistent, and they're there every week, you know. So it's, yeah. So it just makes sense to change it rather than try to fight it, you know.
Dave, a suggestion. I would suggest that Jeff send out a specific email regarding that one topic only, because there's a lot of club members that are not here present, and they may not be checking.
Dave? Yeah, now that slowly getting back into things, we'll reconstitute the emergency communications committee again to start updating our chart and everything with all the frequency changes and that is do that. Yeah, well, remember I was we'll get that group back together again and then update the chart that I know it's been a couple of years or so since we did anything with it. Maybe now's the time to update it. Yep. So put out the word then, anybody wants, I know Steve, you were on the committee, and I forget who else is with us. And then make, yeah, well, if Jeff wouldn't mind putting out an email that we're reconstituting the emergency comms committee, if anybody's interested, to get in touch with me with my email address. That way we can get it rolling. Okay. Okay, copy.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Bill, I did not have you on the VE list, so yeah, my apologies. I put you back on.
There you go, Bill.
I'm gonna have to send this list out and see if I got everybody on there that should be, or if I've got somebody on there that does not want to be on the VE list. I've got about 10 people on there. Yeah.
Hey, is he out of the hospital? He's out of the hospital. Huh?
I got a question for, it's actually for Steve, but do you know anything that's going on with the repeater?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But I'll inquire. Right.
Yes.
That is affirmative.
Not May 27th? Well, we could have a meeting on June 27th. Am I overlooking something or? No, before.
No, Jeff, you're talking about a May meeting, correct?
Yeah.
But there will be a Zoom meeting for May?
Okay, yeah.
Tonight.
Hey, Dave, if June opens up, are we eventually going to go back to the meeting in City Hall? Okay.
We've never had that I can recall.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Is it safe to assume that we're not having a mini field day?
That's a good move. That's a good move.
Yeah, it's an option. I think the intent of the mini field day typically has been to have the people that are going to be operating stations to set up and try to ascertain if we've got any interference issues. Well, Dave, have you guys determined yet who wants to set up stations?
How many stations have we had in the past? I mean, at any one time on field day, we have 3 or 4?
I think
Usually we have like 5 or 6 people set up, but only operate 3 or 4 at one time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vinny.
'73, you guys, I'm out of here.
Yeah, me too. I'm out of here. Good night,
Me
guys.
too. Good night.
All over.
See you
Okay.
later.
Adios.
Boy.
Oh, brother. I'm good as dead.